Hi, and welcome. It is time for the weekly vibe. We are looking at the vibrational energies for the week of, February 10th through the 16th. And we are really, I feel like, sitting on an upswing of energy. I can feel the energy, and I feel like this energy, really started coming into me around the first of the year, but in this next week, it just continues. It's like maybe another ratchet up. And what I'm seeing, what's happening is people are really getting triggered, and stuff is really coming up. And you can do one of two things with the stuff that's coming up. You can go inward and say, what is this reflecting to me about me? And why is this happening? And why am I uncomfortable? Do I need to make a change on what I'm doing and how I'm doing it? What lessons am I learning? Or you can project it out and blame on everybody else, and everybody else is losing their minds, and everybody else is wrong, or the person that's triggering you or the situation that's triggering you is wrong. I've seen a mix of all that going on, and I've done a mix of that myself. But it really, the intensity is really there in our faces, and different viewpoints being thrown at us, and it's all really a good thing. It's purposeful or meaningful. It's stuff that we're drawing the experience to us to show us what we are or what we're not, and we can take what we are and let go of what we're not, and not be attached to either one of them. Not attached to what we are as being any more right or wrong than what we're not. So let that go and let that be, and no judgment, because judgment gets us attached to things, and attachment is ultimately what causes our suffering and our discomfort. So really, when you break it all down with all the triggering, all the new energy, the new energy, what it's doing is a continual upswing in the vibrational energy, and more light into the dark, and more integration of the light and the dark. So it's all really, to me, it's forward movement, it's progress, it's a quote unquote positive thing, but it's painful. Growth is painful. And I saw a saying today about change, and about really looking at the self and having issues come up, and it's like giving birth, but you have to feel the painfulness of it. You feel the pain of birth, and so you breathe into it and you sit with the discomfort rather than finding some release for the tension that's typically projecting outward onto others, or blaming others, or stuffing it down and relieving the tension that way, or the discomfort. Just sit with it and be. And know that as you breathe through the process, that's what you're supposed to be doing when you're giving birth, right? They teach the breathing technique. Sit with the process. Know that something beautiful is coming out on the other side, and this too shall pass. We're never in discomfort forever. We're never in comfort forever. It's always changing, always in motion. So I think that's really big for this week, this month, last week. Just really looking at what has really come up, and be willing to sit with yourself. Sit there and quietly look at the judgments that you were making in the past, or the judgments that you're making now, and things that you've said and done, or how you've contributed to the judgment, or how you've stuffed things down or taken judgment on, whatever that looks like for you. Just really sit with that and be with it. Don't judge it. Just be with it, and just let that process, because it's okay. It's all part of the process. There's absolutely nothing wrong or right with what you've been doing. It just is, and it's showing you something about you. So it's being willing to sit and see where you've been, what you've been thinking, where have your thoughts been going. And maybe you've been sailing through this and you're doing great. But if not, if you've been holding on and attaching to things, judging yourself, ultimately judging others is really just judgment of self. It's a great opportunity for you to just sit with yourself, look at yourself, and see what's come up. and just be present with it. You don't have to do anything with it, just be present with it and just allow it to be. Allow the frustration, allow any joy, any happiness, any anger, any fear, any contraction, any opening, just allow. And that's where we need to be right now. That's what we need to be doing, is learning how to move through these energies as they come up more and more rapidly, and we're asked to grow more and more rapidly. Just breathing into it and allowing is really the easiest way to help facilitate and integrate these energies. So that's my big long-winded speech for this week. Sorry, I don't really know where all that came from. And I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards like I do. 3 cards for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. They kind of run together. Usually we get a little bit of a theme. And I'm going to stick with my Osho cards because they're right here handy. And I love them so much. So let's see what Osho has to say for us within this week. Really feel a lot of light energy. And as there's light energy, it usually will trigger and aggravate the dark energy. So just be aware. I'm not sure if I'm reading past or this coming week, but what's going on. So the first card that comes up is the intensity card, which is really right to me on the money with that energy that I was just feeling. This light, and it's intense, and it triggers, and as the two come together, they work to come into balance always. When the light and the dark meet, they work to balance themselves out. It's always a process of yin and yang and balance. And so with the intensity card coming up, lots of beautiful colors in that card. I know the lighting is kind of bad, but this tells me that it's going to be continue to be an intense process and an intense week, at least for the first few days of the week. And for the second, with the traveling card. So this card is always interesting to me. It can mean lots of different things, of course. On a really technical sense, it can mean movement and a journey, but in this sense, it's talking about the inner journey, I feel like, that we're all on. And it's being willing to get out there and get on the road, and again, do the work and keep the energy just moving and flowing, because life is a journey, and it's about the journey. It's about being present in the journey as you move through it. It's not about where you're going or what you're accomplishing or who's in your life or what's in your life. It's about the experience. That's what we're here to do. We're here as spirit energy to be able to have an experience in the 3D that we can't have when we're not physically into the 1, 2, 3, 4-dimensional construct. You can't do it. Without the construct, you can't have this experience. So that's the beauty in being in a body and alive and being able to have these experiences and gather these experiences, and the spirit, I feel like, retains the experience, and the collective retains whatever your own unique individual experience is. And when you think about that, think about how important that makes you and each of your experiences that you have. How massively important, because you are a piece of the Creator, and you're not a piece that can be separated. Just as important as any other piece of the Creator, and your experiences are just as important. So it's that pulling in that understanding of how much value every little experience that you have, or big experience, they're all equally valuable. It's all equal. And this, to me, concept really can help with our own issues of self-worth and self-value, which I do feel like are coming into play right now, and part of what's getting triggered for all of us right now as the light and the dark meet, and we have to balance. We really have to be in touch with ourselves, and we have to be centered in ourselves and valuing ourselves. And so for the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday card, it's about the journey and appreciating the journey, understanding that you're on a journey. Oh, wow. I feel like this came up last week. I don't remember. And then for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's another, to me, this is completion energy, breakthrough and new vision. That's so beautiful. I'm going to hold that card up one more time. There's some sacred geometry going on in this card. And really, I've never noticed that there's this on the ground here, this little body that's basically crawling on the ground. Really fascinating to me. I've never noticed that, and that's what we're coming out of the journey. We're coming to a peak, and we get to see. We have a new vision. We have a revelation. We have something that is sinking in, something that we're getting, some experience that we're integrating, and we're able to then move forward to the next experience and to change our vision or change where we're going or further ourselves along the path. But there's some aspect of newness to what we'll be seeing come later in the week. So that's really fabulous. One thing I don't really like about the weekly vibe is it plays on Sunday and then everybody comments and they're gone for the week. Even myself, I don't even remember what I said last week. I had to go back and listen to it, and it was pretty good. But that's one thing I don't like about the weekly vibe. But I would love to hear back if anybody thinks about it, stumbles on something new this week, or has some new revelation. I would love to hear in the comments. So it looks like, again, another intense week, as I said, with the intensity card coming up. But remember, we're on a journey. It's all about the journey. Both of these cards, the traveling card and the intensity card, are from the fire element in the Osho Zen card. So should be a good week. And we know we have for me, the Mercury retrograde has started. It's coming up next month, and they always hit me early. And for sure, I know the bank that I work for had some issues with their systems and definitely impacting me. So even though it's a month early, I swear it's already started. So you might be aware that there is the Mercury retrograde energy. I don't know when exactly the shadow was supposed to start, but if you start processing them early, the good news is you really pretty much done with the energy by the time that physical retrograde actually starts. So I hope everyone has a really amazing and fabulous week. And thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate y'all. We have the most amazing community. So big love. Talk to you all next week.